Thank you. Standing here between you and an afternoon beer, I will try to give you a perspective, inside and outside perspective on investing in Greenland. Let me just try to see whether I can. Yeah, that's it. As you mentioned, I am the CEO of the Danish Growth Fund, as well as the chairman of Greenland Holding, Greenland Venture. So I travel very often from Copenhagen to Greenland to look at investment opportunities, which I appreciate a lot. And coming from Europe and looking at business plans in Greenland, it strikes me that they are less rich in information that we usually see. Kind of rougher in structure, to stay in the language of the mining industry. They are kind of unpolished gemstones, like the ones that you can see here on the slide. And with this, it's more difficult for the investors to assess the likelihood of the companies flying or tanking, and which means that the perceived risk is higher. So it's advisable for you to be richer in the information that you leave to the investors. Many of the projects and the companies are longer term that we usually see in Europe, meaning that it's more important, even more important, to look at the partners and the operators than the detailed business plans, indeed. It's also advisable for the investors to arm themselves with patience, a lot of patience, because it's likely to be a bumpy start for most of the projects. To arm themselves also with good nerves and deep pockets. You will need some extra dollars in order to defend your positions. But if you have a skilled operator, there's a good chance that the unpolished gemstones will turn into nice jewelries that you see here on the next slide, which is the season collection from Hartmann, Copenhagen, made from Greenlandic rubies from the Abalutok mining site south of Nuuk. A mine that Greenland Venture happens to be a major investor in, and it's no secret that it has really been a bumpy ride for this company, and therefore it's all the more nice to see how they the jewelries here, they shine. This is the Christmas collection. It was sold out in 9 days, so make sure that you get one of the next collection from Hartmann. I, of course, had to buy one for my wife to support the company and Greenland, and hope you will do the same in the future. Now, Greenland Venture, who are they? Well, the Greenlandic government investment arm, sovereign investment fund, $50 million in total. And who are we? The Danish Growth Fund. We are the similar entity in Denmark, assets under management of $2.5 billion, annual investments of $500 million, divided into approximately 800 companies. We do start up, we do scale up, and we do not only invest in companies, we also invest in building up ecosystems that can finance more companies that we can participate in. We have managed not only to invest in 800 companies a year that have brought to the economy approximately 10 to 15,000 new jobs, but also made a healthy bottom line profit of in total $500 million in 5 years' time, which is equal to approximately 14% in annual IRR. The secret behind this high profit rate is really the patience that we have, our risk-taking. Without risk-taking, there will be no new companies, and there will be no prosperous economic development in any country. And the last part is building closely with strong national and international private partners. Partnership is a vital part of any new business, and therefore we intend in the Danish Growth Fund to partner up closely with the Greenlandic similar company that is Greenland Venture. We will partner up with Greenland Venture in the way that Greenland Venture will be the first point of contact, and it will be Carsten Høj, and please raise up here, Carsten. You will, together with Per Buhl, be the first point of contact. So you will contact these guys and their colleagues, and they will have a closely look at your business plan. And if the business has a financing need below a certain threshold, they will seek and assess the business plan for their own books. And if the companies have a financing need above a certain threshold, they will invite the Danish Growth Fund in, and we will set up a common due diligence team and assess the companies. And if it's thumbs up, we will divide the investment into two parts. We will set up this partnership in order to allow for third parties to come in, for example, pension funds, and in this way we can leverage our tiny capital. There is a capital injection from the two governments, the government of Greenland and the government of Denmark, in the way, approximately $30 million to top up our own capital, and we are eager to put this capital into action in Greenland. So what are we going to look at? Yeah, we're going to look at mining companies for sure, and in particular junior mines. And here we will in particular look at the materials that feeds into the megatrends of the global economy, which is solar and wind, which is energy storage, and which is electrical vehicles. And incidentally, Greenland is well placed to tap into this global trend, and there is likely to come a bull case driving up prices of materials within these areas, and of course we will be looking in particular to these metals, but also other metals such as gemstones will be of interest to us. What else are we going to look at? Well, we have the expansion of the runways, which is likely to spark up a lot of new businesses in Greenland. We already see many new investments coming in, and new investment plans we are looking at currently. And they are within tourism, naturally, hotels, adventure businesses, in services, transport services, maritime as well as air transport, and we see also new industries, new business plans in food production, some of them indeed very technology-based indeed. Now to wrap it up, let me mention a number of calls for action in order for all of us to be able to build up a stronger, more coherent, deeper and broader ecosystem to finance risk capital projects. The first is for the companies, for the entrepreneurs to do more work on the business plans. We need more information. You are, as companies, seeking long-term partnerships with investors, and as such, the investors, they demand long-term plans. They demand to see thoroughly worked out budgets, not only P&L budgets, but also liquidity budgets. When are you gonna run dry for capital? It's important for the investors to know about. Every too often, we as investors receive a call from operators, from companies, telling us that unfortunately things have turned negative, and we're running out of capital very soon, end of next month, which is no good. Don't do that. It's important that you pay attention to your liquidity budget, and you come along to the investors early on. Do not expect that things will turn better in the next month and that you will survive a short crisis. You will in the end have to negotiate new capital against the wall, which is not nice for the company. So this is for the companies to do more of. Then for the government, we need transparency and predictability, in particular when it comes to the long-term investments in the mining industry. Then we need more global partners entering into the ecosystem in Greenland. We all have to invite new global partners to widening and deepening the ecosystem. And to this end, we need to step up what we do in terms of investment documentation and agreements. We need to approach best international standards when it comes to investment agreements. And this is a job for all of us to do, the investors, the lawyers, the advisors, and then finally to ourselves. We need, of course, to participate in all of it, and for the Danish Growth Fund, my job is to tell my organization that even though we believe that Greenland will approach higher international standards in the ecosystem, it will still have its uniqueness and its own culture, and it's important that the outside investors respect that and tap into it and meet the companies where they are. If they do not, from Denmark and also the Danish Growth Fund, they will not take part in this new ecosystem. If we all do mind these calls of actions, and with all of the investments that is going to take off in the coming years, I do firmly believe that we will see a prosperous decades for Greenland, to the benefits of companies and investors, and in the end, the Greenlandic society. Thank you.